Today, windmills are mostly scenic landmarks and Instagram backdrops. But before electricity, they were the backbone of the pre-industrial world. They weren't just cute relics of history, they powered entire economies and revolutionized the way we lived. So let's talk about the forgotten role of windmills and how they shaped agriculture, trade, and even the very economy that fueled the rise of modern civilization. Hello everyone. Welcome to Uncharted Insights, where today we are talking about the historical importance of some big spinning blades. Windmills first appeared in Persia around the 9th century. These early windmills were marvels of engineering and ingenuity. They were a big deal. These ancient machines could do everything from grinding grain to pumping water, and all without a single drop of fossil fuel. The basic principle is simple. When the wind blows, it turns the blades of the windmill, which in turn spin a shaft, which then powers a mechanical system. For example, grinding wheat or pumping water from a well. Essentially, windmills harnessed one of nature's most powerful forces, wind, and turned it into energy, long before modern wind farms were around. Windmills played a central role in agriculture, particularly in Europe. They revolutionized the grinding of grain, something people had been doing by hand or with animals for centuries. With windmill power, you could grind much larger quantities of grain in less time. Imagine trying to harvest grain with an oversized butter knife and then grinding it by hand. Phew! Windmills allowed farmers to turn grain into flour quickly, and that meant more food for the population. In the long run, that led to bigger cities, more trade, and well, eventually more people eating bread. In the Netherlands, windmills didn't just grind grain. They drained water from fields and kept land from being submerged. The Dutch took this to the next level by using windmills to pump water out of their low-lying fields, turning the soggy marshlands into productive agricultural areas. This is how they created the polders, reclaimed land from the sea, and some of the most fertile farmland in the world. Without windmills, much of the Netherlands would still be underwater today, and the entire country's agricultural system would have looked, well, very different and a lot smaller. In fact, the land reclaimed is over 2,000 New York Central Parks in size. Windmills also helped expand global trade by making the production of food staples, like flour, more efficient. Since they could produce more food with less labor, it became easier for regions to generate surpluses, which were then traded across Europe and beyond. Suddenly, entire cities had enough flour to sell, and regions that once struggled to grow enough crops could now meet demand. Trade boomed. Not to mention, windmills were also used to process other goods like oil, spices, and even paper. You could say they were some of the original factories. But as time went on, things changed. With the rise of steam engines in the 18th century and the widespread adoption of electricity in the 19th century, windmills began to be replaced by more efficient, mechanized systems. Steam engines could work day or night, rain or shine, which was something windmills couldn't always do, since it had to be windy for the windmills to work. In fact, by the time the Industrial Revolution really kicked off, windmills were seen more as quaint relics, kind of like the rotary phones of the pre-electric age. Yet, the windmill's legacy lives on. Modern wind turbines are doing what their ancestors did, harnessing the power of the wind to generate energy. Ironically, it was the same principle that gave the Industrial Revolution a push, that also led to its decline. So next time you're visiting a charming countryside or you see a windmill spinning lazily in the breeze, remember, this humble structure once powered entire economies and transformed agriculture as we know it. Like, comment, and subscribe if you think windmills are more than just Instagram material. Because let's be real, those old-school blades were the true powerhouses of history.